Hey YouTube, it's Joe from Jag Gaming, coming to you here with a Salamangreat budget deck profile. All the cards in this deck are either from the structure deck or can be purchased for some low prices out on TCG Player. Now, this is a little caveat. I say low prices, some of these cards have gone up. I know that the Link 2 shot up to about $8 last time I looked, and Lady Debug was really high. But I purchased a full Cybers playset, everything that possibly came out at the start of this year. So I bought the Lady Debugs for $3, and I got the Salamangreat Wolves also when they were $3. So let's jump in here. We have 4 cards that we play 3 ofs as our starter cards. We have Lady Debug, which is a great searcher for the deck, any level 3 or lower Cybers monster, which is you're going to be most likely your Salamangreat Gazelle. This card lets you special summon itself to the field anytime that a Cybers monster, anytime that a Salamangreat monster is sent from the field to the graveyard. Spinny is another 3 of that we run. If you normal summon Spinny, send it to the graveyard to link for a link 1, you can special out your Gazelle. Spinny also has a second great effect where you can special summon itself from the graveyard to give you a little bit of an extension on your play. Last we have for our starters Salamangreat Foxy. He's not the best starter. He does let you dig into your deck a little bit. I think it's you excavate 3 and then you choose 1 Salamangreat card and add it to your hand. It doesn't search, but it does get you an extra card, and it is a good level 3 or lower normal summon. We play 5 1-ofs for Salamangreat monsters in this deck. Salamangreat Falco, just purely for the fact that he's a level 4. Jack Jaguar is also a level 4, but it does have a great effect in the graveyard where you can shuffle a Salamangreat back into the deck, whether it's main or extra, and then special summon this guy to the field. You'll see that in the second half of this video where I show some dual replays. We have Salamangreat Mirror. He's a level 2, he kind of sticks out, but a really cool combo you'll see from my opponent actually in the second or third dual replay where he uses a combination of Mirror and I believe it's Falco to get some really great extensions on his play. We play a Foxer. It's a level 3. It's not the greatest. I would probably cut this card out first thing. And then we play Salamangreat Foul as a level 4. This guy lets you special summon it to the field anytime that a Salamangreat monster is normal or special summon. It's just a decent extender. We play 3 Ashes, but it's almost like we're playing unlimited Ashes because of one of the combos that I'll show you. We're playing 3 Effect Valors because it's another cheap hand trap. Also, I don't have the money for impermanence. Also, Ghost Ogre is kind of going out here. It might come back with this deck. Actually, Ghost Ogre will pin this deck pretty hard, but Effect Valor is a great choice for the money. Starting off with our spells, we play 3 Salamangreat Circle. It's just another searcher of your deck. It's a quick effect card if that ever comes into play. We got a lot of 1-ofs. We have Salamangreat Heart, which is a monster reborn, or a Soul Charge, or both. It's crazy. We have the Salamangreat Sanctuary. We play 1-of because it is searchable by link 1 any of the monsters that you have in this deck, minus your hand traps. But this card is the card that lets you really get into your combos. You can link summon a card from your extra deck using a card with the same exact name on the field. Fusion of Fire, we use to disrupt our opponent. That allows you to fusion summon 1 Salamangreat fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand and or either side of the field as fusion material. It's searchable and it kind of works as a super poly. We play 3 Twin Twisters because we don't really care if our monsters are in the graveyard. And it's really good against the Mirror, it's really good against any of the back row decks that come out. We play 2 Called by the Grave because I only own 2 and I have yet to get my 3rd copy. I'd probably cut this Foxer to add a 3rd one. Play a Foolish Burial. I don't really ever see this card, but if you do, you can pitch a Spinny or you can pitch a Jack Jaguar, it doesn't really matter. Monster Reborn because it's at 1 and we will take the free special summons whenever. Here we go with the traps. We play 1 Roar only because it is searchable. We can get to it at any point that we want, and it is recurable. So if we start off with 2, since it is only a once per turn, I believe. Yes, it is a hard once per turn. We don't want to draw 2 or open up with 2 in our first hand. But if you're running a super budget variant where you're not using the link 2, I might run more than 1. Salamangreat Rage, just another way to get your opponent's monsters off the field. Send one of your Salamangreat monsters from the hand or face up on the field to the graveyard, then target 1 card on the field, destroy it. Its second effect has to do with a reincarnated link monster. Destroy cards your opponent controls up to that monster's link rating. So that's non-targeting removal, something that this deck really could use. So we like to keep it in there. And then a Solemn Judgment and Solemn Warning. I don't have 2 Solemn Strikes. I just kind of put these in here because they're pretty strong, allowing you to negate the normal summon and the activation of spell and traps for both of these. All right, moving on to our extra deck. We play 3 of the Link 1 Salamangreat Baylinks with a B now since we're in the TCG. This card takes 1 level 4 or lower Cyberse monster, and this, once it is Link summoned, allows you to search out Salamangreat Sanctuary from the deck. And that is what lets you get going into your reincarnated Link plays. That's what we want to see when we play this deck. The Link 2, we want to play 3 of these. I see some people play 2, but I think 3 is important because if you can't recur this guy back into the deck via Jack Jaguar, you want to have another one to go into on the next turn. This one, if you special summon it with its same name, you can actually take a Salamangreat spell or trap from the graveyard and add it to your hand. So that's the first way in which we reincarnate Salamangreat Roar. Roar also has an effect where if a Link monster is summoned that used Link material of the same name, it can recur itself, but you have to banish it once you use it. So if you have a reincarnated Sunlight Wolf on the field, and then you use the Wolf's effect to recur the Roar, you can use the Wolf's effect again to recur it next time. You effectively have unlimited Salamangreat Roars, which is awesome. Continuing on to the Link 3, we play 2 Salamangreat Heatleos. It's not the most important Link monster in our deck, but it does have an effect when it is reincarnated by itself. Once per turn during your main phase, if this card was Link summoned using Salamangreat Heatleo as material, you can target 1 face-up monster on the field and 1 monster in your graveyard. The attack of this first card becomes equal to the other targets until the end of this turn. That is something that we use to great effect with our Violet Chimera fusion monster. But the more important effect is actually the first effect. When it's Link summoned, you get to target 1 card in your opponent's spell and trap zone and shuffle it into the deck. So it doesn't destroy the back row, it shuffles it into the deck, which is just great. And that's every time that you Link summon this. So if you Link summon it, you get to turn a card back into the deck. And then if you summon it with the same name using the effect of Sanctuary, you get to put another card back into your opponent's deck, which is incredible. Going on to our Xyz Salamangreat monster, the Mirage Stalio. I played 2 because you always want to get one of these on the field. It takes 2 level 3 monsters, and you can detach material to effectively special summon a Salamangreat monster from your deck. Now, if you go into the main combo, you usually want to special out Jack Jaguar, so you can link away with that. But this card is super important to our turn 1 opening that you'll see in most of our videos. We have our OTK fusion right here that we use for a fusion of fire. Don't go into this all the time, but when you can, this card is incredible and unstoppable. If this card is fusion summoned, you can make this card gain attack equal to half the combined original attack of the materials used to special summon it. So not only does it have 2800 attack, but you can change that if you special summon with some higher attack point monsters. And then the more important effect, let me just get down there to where we can scroll. Once per battle during the damage calculation, if this monster battles a monster whose current attack is different from its original attack, from the effect of Heatleo, for example. Quick effect, you can double this card's attack during your damage calculation. If this card was fusion summoned using the same card name as material, the monster's attack becomes 0 during damage calculation. So that entices me to play 2 of these guys, but I'm not sure that I'd be able to get 2 fusion of fires off. That's why we might try to tech in a super poly. Going on to some extra cards, I got number 47 Nightmare Shark in here just because it's a rank 3 with high attack points. One of the things you're going to see in the mirror match, it's really hard to get over your opponent's Mirage Stalio without going into a Heatleo. So what you want to do is try to get a rank 3 with high attacks. You can use this, it's got 2000, so it's even out with it. You can use it to bait out their Veilinx graveyard effect to block a destruction, but I'm going to look for a rank 3 with higher than 2000 attack points, and that'll make it most effective. Which we did find for a rank 4. Baguska still is useful. People stopped using this and stopped, really fighting for it, but I think in today's meta it's still useful. It's got 2100 attack, so it can pop over a Mirage Stalio, and it's got effects that don't activate, it's just inherent effects. When it's in attack position, this card in attack position cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. Your opponent cannot target this card with effects in attack position. But while it's in defense position, change all face-up monsters on the field to defense position. Also negate the activated effects of those monsters. Alright, so if your opponent's playing a bunch of activated monster effects, pop a Baguska in defense position, and it's got 2,000, so it can stand up to the Mirage Stallion, but all of your opponents, like the monsters that they would use to go into Link summons, will be negated and in defense position. Flame Administrator, I will never not play one of these cards in the Salamangreat deck. The 800 attack boost to all Link monsters you control is incredible. You'll see I use that to actually get over a Mirage Stallion in one of these videos. Yeah, I just think it's too good to not play one of. And then we got a Decode Talker, which can be used for extra space if you want to put 3 of something else. Perhaps taking out a Decode Talker to add a Violet Chimera. A second one. Going to the side deck, this is not important. I didn't really create a full side deck. You'll see the Gozen matches, the Super Poly that I was thinking about playing. I got 3 of these just because they're in the structure deck. Thinking about playing them. 3 Pankratops, super useful in all decks, and 3 Lost Winds because I really like this trap card. But that's not a final, that's nothing crazy. Alright, thanks for checking out this deck profile. Don't forget to leave a like and a comment down below. I'll be posting some duel replays in a little bit as soon as I get them all edited. Thanks guys, see you later.